So today we're going to be looking at a scenario where World War II breaks out in 2022. Now this is my first video of 2022 and hopefully this year is going to be great. Last year was great for the channel and hopefully this year is even better. So building off of that, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Like I've said before, for 25,000 subscribers, I'm doing something super special. So if you want to see that happen sooner, then make sure to subscribe. So this is going to be a very brief overview of World War II, since World War II was a very big war. And it had lots of fronts, lots of participants, so it will be very hard to kind of do all of it. So I'm going to be mainly focusing in on Europe and a little bit over here in Asia, but other than that, every other continent is going to be kind of left alone. Also, concerning Africa, I'm not going to be including any of it, and that's just because of simplicity, because there was a lot going on in Europe, and there's also a lot going down in Africa. But mapping all that out would be very annoying, so we're just going to be ignoring Africa's existence. So starting off this war, we're going to be having Japan going after China. Now, the problem with this is Japan doesn't have a front in Korea, so they're going to go ahead and go to war with Korea too. And you can already kind of see how this video is going to be playing out. The Axis powers aren't really as strong as they were in like 1940 or 1930. So yeah, Japan's not going to have a good time here. They're probably not going to be able to invade. And they're really not going to be able to do what they did in World War II. Jumping over to Europe, though, we do have Germany, who is fairly strong in today's era. It doesn't have much of a military, but we can go ahead and assume that they're going to build that up for World War II. The first thing that happened over here in Europe is the Anschluss. Now, in real life, this isn't too likely, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Plus, why would Austria want to get invaded by Germany? I mean, I don't know. So yeah, we have Germany taking over all of Austria. Also, another important thing to note is that NATO does not exist, the EU does not exist, and the UN does not exist. So none of those things are going to be playing a part in this war. The next thing we have up is the demanding of the Sudetenland. Now, that would probably never happen in real life. If Germany sent an ultimatum to the Czech Republic today, it would be denied, and other powers would prevent that from happening. But once again, without Germany taking the Sudetenland, we can't really have the buildup of the German army, and it really wouldn't lead to World War II. So just for the sake of this video, I'm going to be Chamberlain, and I'm going to allow Germany to have the Sudetenland. Anyway, just like that, Germany has taken over the Sudetenland. Now, that is not perfect. I know it's not perfect, but just bear with me, okay? I don't have a picture of it next to me. Anyway, from here, you know the rest. We have Germany declaring war on Czechoslovakia, but in this universe, it is Czechia and Slovakia. So now we see Germany pushing into Czech land, and after capitulating that country, they start to push into Slovakia. After the war is said and done, we have Germany annexing all of Czechia and making a puppet out of Slovakia. Just about a month after this happens, we go down south and we see Italy invade Albania. Italian troops move across the Adriatic Sea and land in Albania. But in this video, we see our first twist, which is Kosovo joining the side of Albania. Now, this would definitely lead to another Balkan war, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. So Serbia declares war on Kosovo. Montenegro joins the war on the side of Serbia. We see Slovenia and Croatia join in on the side of Albania. Bosnia and Herzegovina joins in on the side of Serbia. North Macedonia joins in with Albania, as well as Bulgaria. Greece joins in with Italy, and Turkey joins in with Albania. So this is very loosely a third or fourth Balkan war here. If you're from the Balkans, I apologize, because no matter what happens here, you're gonna hate me. So just note, I'm going off of what I know, and what I know probably isn't true. So if your country gets completely obliterated here, then my bad, I guess. Yeah, I can't really, there's no win situation for me here. But yeah, this is the main difference we have in World War II here. Italy invading Albania led to another Balkan war. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. First off, we have Bulgaria and Turkey pushing into the panhandle of Greece. We then see Serbia invade Kosovo and northern Albania. Bulgaria makes a slight push into southern Serbia. Croatia makes a small push into the Croatian part of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Up north, we have Italy pushing into Slovenia and Croatia. Down south, Turkey continues to invade Greece. Eventually, after capturing major cities, we have the capitulation of Greece. Serbia pushes back Bulgaria, and Albania capitulates. From here, we are left with North Macedonia, which falls quickly to Serbian and Italian forces. We do see a small Bulgarian defense over here in the east of North Macedonia, and overall, a pretty strong Bulgarian and Turkish defense along this border. From here, we see Italian and Serbian troops start to push into Greece. Now, this doesn't go very well, since a majority of Turkish troops are already stationed here, and eventually this is stopped. Back up north, we see Croatia doing a lot of progress over here in Bosnia and Serbia, but ultimately up north, we have Italy pushing into Croatia's north, so they're going to have to retreat out of these two countries. They do so and set up a defensive over here in northern Croatia, although it is very weak, since right here it's a very small point that they still have to defend. Losing this point, they would ultimately lose their country. Back up north, we see the very thing that we didn't want to happen to Croatia happen, and they are split off into two pieces. From here, each is invaded accordingly. And from here, we have one consolidated red front over here, which is standing against Bulgaria and Turkey. Speaking of which, we have Turkey and Bulgaria pushing the red team came out of Greece and up into southern Albania and southern North Macedonia. From here, North Macedonia is liberated, and a small push into Serbia is started. So from here, we see a stalemate in the war, and eventually the two sides sign peace. Now looking at this peace deal, a lot of people are not going to be happy, and I apologize for that. There's no winning for me in this situation. I can't satisfy both sides. So yeah, the Balkans are always the hardest thing to deal with. So taking a look at these horrible borders that I've drawn up here, a lot of people are going to be even more mad at me, especially Albanians and especially Greeks. But the video must go on. So we have Italy taking over all of Slovenia and the coastline of Croatia, while Bosnia takes over a bunch of Croatia. Serbia takes over Kosovo and also a little bit of Croatia up here. Albania is annexed by Italy. North Macedonia gets a big chunk out of Greece. Bulgaria gets access to the Aegean Sea, and Turkey gets the rest of Greece. So, would it play out like this in real life? I don't know, that's up for you to decide, but this is how it played out in this video, and it is also here that we see another really big plot twist. So in World War I, Italy wanted all these lands, and now that they have them, they really have no purpose to go to Germany. So we never see the access form, and Germany is left on their own. So going back over to Germany, speaking of Germany, they have no reason to go after Poland, since, you know, Danzig is Polish, and they don't have Kaliningrad. So will Germany and Poland go to war in this video? Yes, but not for any real reason. So later on, after the Balkan War occurred, we have Germany declaring war on Poland. We see German troops cross the border into Poland on all fronts, but this isn't going to go too well for Germany here because Poland is a lot stronger than it was back in 1939. They built up a military that's even larger than Germany's. So another big plot twist we have here is Russia joining in on the war, just like how they did in World War II. But it's not because of some pact, it is because of Belarus and Poland's relations. This ultimately leaves Ukraine to join the war on the side of Poland just because Russia is going to invade them anyway. Back down in the south, we see Hungary join the war on the side of Poland. And finally, we see France and the UK join the war. So World War II has just erupted, and let's go ahead and check in on our friend Japan in the east. Oh, well that's not good. So yeah, if Japan tried to invade China and the Koreas today, they would most likely fail and might get invaded. I don't know, Japan has a really good, strong army, lots of terrain. So they might not get invaded, but just for the sake of right now, they got invaded by China. This ultimately leads to the divide of Japan, with some islands going over to South Korea, and some islands going to North Korea, and the rest going to China. And with that, we see the end of anything happening over here in East Asia. Now, what I could have done here is made India, the Philippines, and Taiwan join in on the side of Japan. Now, that doesn't seem too unlikely, but just because Japan was the aggressor here, I don't think they would. So if you were wondering why they didn't join in, that's why. Anyway, back over here in Europe, we have the UK and France declaring war on Russia, making this like a, I guess, what was it called? The German and Russian alliance, if it were to happen. It wasn't the Unholy Alliance, that was the US and Germany. I know the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, but I don't think that's what, I don't know. Just tell me in the comments. So we have Russia invading Ukraine. Over here in the Benelux, we see all three of these countries get involved on the side of the Allies, just because they know neutrality doesn't work anymore. And from here, we have Allied troops pushing over into Germany. So as you can tell, France and the UK are much stronger than they were back in World War II. Especially France, they've really built up and become stronger. Back over in the east, Kiev falls, which leads Ukraine to capitulate. And from here, Russian troops start to push into Poland. So now Poland is fighting a war on all sides, which is not going to end too well for them. Eventually, after falling back and losing some major cities, we have Poland setting up a defensive line. Meanwhile, we see Russian troops enter into Hungary, and Allied troops continuing to pursue into Germany. Now, this really is not good for Germany here. They've lost over half of their territory, and eventually Berlin is going to fall to the Allies. So in order to protect their territory, they withdraw all their troops from Poland, and all their troops from Slovakia, which leads to a rebellion. Now, Germany mainly focuses on protecting their northern area in Bavaria, but leaves their Austrian area pretty open, which leads to an Allied victory. We see Austria liberated, as well as the Czech Republic, and eventually we even see a small amount of Polish troops pushing over into Germany. Allied troops enter Berlin, and eventually Germany surrenders. So with that out of the way, all we have is Russia remaining. We see a small amount of fighting on the border over here, but until the Allied troops fully mobilize, we don't see any progress made on either side. Eventually in the future, we see Poland fully liberated, and peace talks begin. Now, Russia's main goal in this war was to take out Poland, and they failed to do so. But in kind of their luck, they managed to take out Ukraine. So the two sides come up with the Ukraine for Poland deal. Basically, Russia pays reparations to Poland and just leaves the territory in order for them to keep Ukraine. So taking a look at a peace treaty here, we see a lot has occurred in Europe over the past 10 years. Russia has completely annexed all of Ukraine, and Belarus openly joined Russia. Looking at the peace treaty with Germany here, we have Poland taking a lot of land over here in eastern Germany, But they are allowed to keep Berlin, so they have to kind of do this weird thing with this and then go up to the coast. We see the Czech Republic take land from both Austria and Germany. We see Hungary get older lands back over here from Austria. We see France take a little bit of land over here next to Alsace-Lorraine. Luxembourg, Belgium, and the Netherlands all get land. And we see the British and French occupy a little bit of Germany here. So with that, we are left with this thing, which is what remains of Germany. Eventually, it will get all this back, and it will look like that. So looking at World War II here, we only have two real losers. That would be Germany and Japan. The borders of Europe have very severely changed, especially down here in the Balkans, which I know a lot of people aren't happy with. And also over here in Central Europe, a lot of things have changed. So would this be the scenario where World War II breaks out in 2022? Probably not. The US would probably get involved. And, you know, if this happened in real life, NATO, the UN, the EU, all that stuff would be accounted for. But this is just a fun and unrealistic scenario, taking a look at what would happen if this took place in 2022. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed my first video of the year. I'm super excited for this year, and eventually I'm going to announce my goals. It's not going to be in this video because I would have done that in the beginning, but I kind of forgot to do that, so it'll be in the next video. Also, daily upload week is coming up. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet for the channel. I think I did. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But in my Discord server, I announced it. So from January 9th to the 15th, there's going to be a daily upload week. Every video of that week is going to have an upload, and I've already had them all sorted out. They're pretty good, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy them. This is the first video of the new year, like I said. And if you enjoyed this one, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe. 25,000 subscribers, something special is happening. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.